One sec. Okay, we're live now.
We're live.
We're live.
Happy Tuesday. Glad to have you here. Raul and I are sitting in for the real star of the show, Randy Jacquette. He's not here, but he's going to be sitting in questions. So, coming to you live from the Havana Cigar Lounge in Pomona, California. Let's get it.
Welcome, guys. This is episode 3 of the On Our Show. Yeah, like Robert said, Randy's not here, so we're replacing Randy with another R, Raul.
The 3 R's. There we
3
go.
R's.
There we go.
Okay, so what you got, Rob? What do you want
I
to talk
have a
about?
lot of stuff. Hopefully, we can get through all of it. So, the Olympics just ended. We looked at we want to look at the medal count. How do you think we did, just overall? United States finished with 126 medals. But we tied China. How did we tie China? I think they cleaned up in the diving.
You know what? We can just dive into the details.
Yeah.
I mean, the majority of their goals, they got 8 goals with the diving category.
Exactly.
5 table tennis.
Okay.
As expected. 5
exactly. Go figure.
Shooting. 5 weightlifting. That's surprising.
That is surprising. Yeah. None in track and field. I take it.
I mean, 3 out of the 5 in weightlifting that were for women.
Women. Okay.
You can see that there.
How did you feel about overall? How do you feel like we did?
I mean, I think we did good. In comparison to the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, we did better.
Because this year we had around 12%. 12% of the medals or 12% of the gold medals?
12% of the overall medals.
Okay, that's not bad considering how many countries participated. I think 93?
It was 93 countries.
And then how many medals? I believe it was around 84, did we say? Let's see how many medals. I think it was 84. So if you figure 84 countries medaled, we won 12% compared to 11% in 2020. I mean, we're getting better. That's not bad. And we messed up a couple, especially in track. We could have had a couple more.
Right. I mean, the only caveat is you got to remember Russia was not part of this year's Olympic.
That's true.
I mean, they're always in the top 5.
Yeah, they are. But they were in Tokyo, correct?
Right. The category that we dominated this year was athletics. We got 34 total medals.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Swimming, we did pretty good with 28.
Okay. We usually did swimming, gymnastics, track.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was good. It was entertaining. I think they made it a little bit more entertaining.
I mean, over half of our gold medals came from just swimming and athletics.
Okay.
Other than that, all I see is onesies and twosies spread out across all categories.
Men's and women's basketball, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What stood out most? What about what are the memories you have from the Olympics? For me, gymnastics, swimming, of course, men's and women's basketball, track. What else?
You know what? I like more of the controversies. It's not that I like. It's the things that I tend to remember the most. For better or worse, right? We all heard about that. The women's boxing division. I know this is a little controversial.
It was controversial.
It's not political, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. And then I don't know if we want to dive deep into that or we want to leave that alone. That may be.
No, really, it's up to you. I mean, do you wanna expand how you feel about it?
I mean, it's touch and go because you can't. It's controversy over which category that boxer should have been in. So I get it.
Right.
She got a lot of hate during the Olympics, which I don't get that. I mean, the Olympic Committee made the decision, so I think we should just live with it. How did she do?
Oh, she ended up winning gold.
Gold. So I see why it was controversial. If she didn't win anything, it wouldn't be controversial, right?
Right.
So.
Yep. So.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's all over the news. I mean, I think her coach came out yesterday saying that they might have been an issue with the testing.
Okay.
Almost admitting that
something was faulty.
She does have an XY chromosome.
Okay.
Which, again, I don't like to get too much into it, but
exactly.
That's one of the things I'm gonna remember because we never had anything like this ever happen
ever
at the global stage.
Yep. So that was memorable.
I hope. I mean, we all hope this is not a preview of what we're gonna see in 2028.
Yeah, in Los Angeles, by the way.
I mean, this is the ice. Hopefully, it's not the icebreaker. We'll see what happens.
It opens everything up. And then Jordan Childs, they want her to give up her bronze medal. So she got it. I think they're giving it to the young lady from Romania. So I know she's extremely disappointed.
How do you feel about that? What happened there?
They gave it to her. They awarded it to her surprisingly, but now they're taking it back. And they said no, she appealed it and they denied it. So she's got to give back the bronze.
That's
So
interesting.
it is after the fact.
So that means our medal count is going to change.
It's going to change, exactly. What about what event stood out for you? What I really like, to me, the most exciting, other than track, which is great. We'll talk about track in a minute. The men's basketball finals, the women only 1-by-1. My ex-student Diana Taurasi didn't play in the last game.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this: is that an indictment that the world is getting better, or is that something against the United States? Because when you look at the French team, they had Wembanyama, and if I'm saying that correctly, and he was the only starter, NBA starter, I think, in their team. Batum, I don't think starts anymore.
I think they had two.
Who was the other one?
The other guy plays for the Hawks. I can't pronounce his last name.
Okay. But
He's a
that
shooting
team,
guard.
yeah, but he wouldn't have started on, he wouldn't have started on most of the teams in the league. And they took us down to the wire. We needed 4 threes by Steph Curry in the last 2:48 in order to pull that out.
Isn't that amazing? You put together this dream team, you could say, right? It's the 2024 version of the dream team.
It is.
Right?
How many Hall of Famers on our team? Anthony Davis, LeBron, KD, Steph. And some of the young guys will get in, like a Tatum.
Right.
But 4 guaranteed Hall of Famers in Davis, Steph, KD, LeBron.
Right. Those guys all retire tomorrow.
Hall of Fame. First ballot. Not even a question.
But quite honestly, in the next 10 years, everybody that's in the team has an opportunity to make it to the Hall of Fame, except for maybe White.
Except for
who's
White.
A role player.
Yeah, because Holiday could get in. Great player. Campbell Hall out here, UCLA. Tatum's going to get in. Embiid's probably he's going to get in. Adebayo, if he keeps playing like he's playing, he's going to get in. So we have 10, 11 Hall of Famers potentially. And we only, we needed Steph to bail us out. So why is that?
What do you think? Does that have to do with chemistry, or it's 3 things? Either the world's catching up, lack of chemistry.
It's another one.
Or the one that's least likely is that we're not as good as we think.
I think it's that the French players and the European players get better coaching young. They get great coaching at 13, 14, 15, 16. They're playing club and, they're playing in pro leagues like Luka. And here, when you're 14 and 15, you're getting usually subpar coaching. You're not getting great high school coaching. You look at California. It's not there. The high school coaching is not great. People focus more on AAU because that's where you get a scholarship.
Right.
And the coaching there is more focused on getting good players and winning tournaments. It's not about fundamentals. I think the Europeans get better coaching young.
Right. I mean, as far
fundamentals
and culture too, right? I mean, the culture here in the United States, when you're that young, you're playing video games.
Exactly.
You're on TikTok.
Yep.
You're doing dance videos.
Yep.
Right. I mean, the culture, just like you said, there's a lot of distraction.
Yeah.
I could imagine the culture in all these countries. I mean, it's more like how it used to be maybe about 15 years ago here. You go to the park,
play all day.
You play outside,
Yeah. And they stress fundamentals, I think, more. Here, everybody is Steph Curry, I want to shoot a 3 or go to the hole and dunk. There, they learn how to come off a pick, how to set it down screen, how to up fake and shoot the mid-range, things we did 20 years ago. Here, nobody shoots the mid-range. It's 3 or to the hole. So you got to be able to shoot the mid-range. Luka can shoot the teardrop, the mid-range, the 3, the up fake, draw the foul. Kids here don't know how to draw a foul.
Right. So I think you hit the nail on the head.
Better coaching.
I think it's the coaching, but also the style, right? The NBA, the style of NBA play is so different than international play.
It is.
Right? It's like baseball, right? It's all about home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Yet when they play a team like Japan, which they play small ball, they end up losing all the time in the World Classic for baseball.
Exactly.
It's the fundamentals.
Fundamentals, and that goes a long way in Olympics. because you got to down screen and pass the ball, move and cut, and you can play it off the rim. And our guys are used to be able to play it off the rim, like Wimby did. He dunked that one in the fourth quarter off the rim. Our guys weren't ready for that.
Right. Do you feel the international play, the refs let them play a little bit more than
Absolutely.
the NBA?
Absolutely. I was watching when they were trying to post up in the fourth quarter. They were letting them play. Davis was, battling down there. Bam was battling. They let him play. So that's international play, so you have to get ready for that. So I think they're catching us. I mean, imagine if we would have lost that. We almost lost to Serbia.
Right.
So we had to come from, 15 down. So I think coaching, like you said, culture, what are our three? Coaching, culture, and probably just chemistry.
Chemistry. Style. Or different style.
Yeah, different style. Yeah.
Maybe good. Yeah.
So that was my big takeaway. Our women's team only won by 1 point. That's surprising.
It's really surprising.
Yeah. So
let's do a little what if.
Okay.
Right? I know it's the lowest form of conversation, but what if women's U.S. team would have lost with all the controversy, going into the Olympics by excluding Caitlin Clark and
Angel
Reeves?
Yep.
What do you think that would have done? Let's go over that. What if? What do you think would have happened?
I think it would have been a shame because we had some older players like Taurasi didn't even play in the last game.
Right.
And I love that at Taurasi, but she, we could have maybe used some young talent that could have played and helped us. So, and Caitlin played international ball before. So, yeah, that would have been very disappointing. I think we've won 5 or 6 golds in a row. Taurasi's got 04, 8, 12, 16, 20. Yeah, 6 in a row. We've won 6 in a row.
6 in a row. That's pretty amazing, guys.
Yeah, that's a good point. The girl hit that shot, but her foot was on the 3 line. Yeah. What do you guys think up there? What do you guys think? Why was it so close, men's and women's?
Exactly better. Yeah.
Yes.
Style of play.
They're focusing on developing the player in the basic skills.
Yes.
And
Fundamentals,
they have
exactly.
multiple places where an individual child can go and get properly mentored and learn what they need to learn.
At an early age, too. We're not talking 16, 17. We're talking 12, 13.
Because their programs are like joining Planet Fitness. You want to be there. It's a family thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we better catch up. Yeah, in 2028, because we're not going to have LeBron. We won't have Steph. We probably won't have KD. We're not going to have any of those guys.
Right. So from 4 years from now, who do you think is going to be our 2 captains?
I would say Tatum and Edwards. I would say because young talent, those are the 2. Because
maybe Booker.
Yeah, Booker. Yeah, that's true. Booker played more than both those guys. Yeah, I would say Booker, Tatum, and Edwards.
I would probably pick Edwards over Tatum. Edwards just has that,
That
he has a little bit of that Mamba mentality.
He definitely does.
What about KD?
No, he'll be too old.
I don't know if KD's
gonna be too old. Yeah, he'll be too old.
He'll be in the coaching staff.
Exactly. Yeah, I would say Edwards and Booker. In their style, he's aggressive. Booker's style fits international because he can shoot the mid-range, he can shoot the 3, doesn't turn it over too much. So
I think we'll all agree it's a lock to see Angel and Caitlin Clark.
By far.
In the Olympics.
They'd be on the team if the Olympics were next year. Yeah, I agree. They
Tomorrow.
have to be on that tomorrow. Exactly. So I would agree with that. But yeah, we definitely, and I don't know about some of Kerr's rotations. I don't know if he made all the right choices. Is he going to be the coach in 2028?
Who?
Steve Kerr.
I think so.
You think so?
Okay. Does he still want to do it?
That's true. Yeah, he may be retired by then. Yeah, but we'll need all our guys. We'll need Embiid, Booker, Tatum. I'd like to see Jaylen Brown on the team, defensive stopper.
Right.
Why wasn't he on the team this year, by the way?
You know what? I think it has to do with Nike, and I think isn't he sponsored by Adidas?
Somebody, yeah.
And it's funny how, the only guys playing are all Nike guys.
Yeah. Very, very true. I would have liked to have seen Kyrie Irving on the team. He should have been on the team over Halliburton.
Right, but again, he's not a Nike guy.
Not a Nike guy, boy. So we're picking shoes over country. Okay.
So who's running the team? Is it Nike or
Grant Hill?
or Grant Hill?
Who was not a Nike guy. He was a Fila guy coming out of college. But Nike runs Olympic basketball.
We're talking about the Finals MVP. Didn't get invited.
Yeah.
Even after Kawhi,
Yep.
who's also not a Nike guy, was kind of kicked out,
Yep.
but not really.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Clint?
Yeah, he was kicked out. And then they put a Nike guy in. Jaylen Brown should have been on the team. Kyrie should have been on the team.
Yep.
We could use both of them.
It happens.
Kyrie played international ball. Played
Yeah.
for Krzyzewski. Went to
Mhm.
Duke like Grant Hill. So I thought he should have been on the team. But, politics sometimes trumps common sense. So, but yeah, we definitely have to get better. What about track and field? What did you think about track and field? What is your biggest takeaway? I enjoyed watching it.
Absolutely, it was great. I mean, except for I think we were disqualified from the 4x1.
We were.
Right. We always very competitive in that. So,
We won the 4-4.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we were disqualified. And then the women won the 4x1 and the 4x4.
Right.
We talked about the sprints last week.
We also won the 200.
Mm-hmm. We did.
Let me see right here. I'm opening this up so we can see.
Okay.
Okay.
So men's 400, men's 100, Noah Lyles.
So the golds are men's 100 with Noah Lyle,
Mhm.
men's 400 with Quincy, men's 1500, men's 110-meter hurdles, 400
Yeah,
hurdles.
I saw that one.
We want the shot put, the 4x4 relay, which to me is the biggest race.
It is. It's the toughest.
I think I would pick the 4x4 more important than the 4x1. What do you think?
Why is that? 4x1 is more exciting, but the 4x4 has more suspense. Because
It does.
guys can come from behind, and it's usually in high school and college. It's usually the last race, one of the last races.
Right.
So it always has a lot of suspense
It's a combination of speed and endurance.
and endurance. We had a 16-year-old on the team. He didn't run in the finals, but he ran in the earlier heats. So
I'm sure we're going to see him in 4 years.
we will. In the 100, that was close. I watched that. That was controversial. Yeah, Noah Lyles, he got one. Or Jamaica. Yeah, Jamaica. I think it was Jamaica. Yeah, that was close. And Noah Lyles came out with some controversial comments about that NBA players weren't world champions. What is that all about? Did you see that?
I did.
Why would he say that?
You know what? I disagree with Noah. Yeah, I guess the NBA takes place here in the United States.
But it's the best of the best, so they are world
it's
champions.
the best of the best. So unofficially, it's the world title.
World title. I agree. I don't know why he said that, why he would need to say that. But, I see his point, but some things are better
Yeah, maybe
left unsaid.
he's being a little technical.
Yeah,
That's all.
definitely.
I love the guy. I mean, he almost won the 200.
What'd you think about him running with COVID?
I don't know. Did he really have COVID? Because
That's
he
what he
said
said.
that he said that after the fact.
Yeah.
Do you think he had COVID?
Yeah. And then he was partying 2 days later, so
There you go.
he's a different guy. We'll just say that.
You know what? That's two coincidences. It's almost mathematical impossible to have two coincidences back to back.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah.
Coincidence that
So you think he was giving us an excuse for not winning?
a little bit. I think his pride was hurt. I mean, hell of a runner.
Yeah.
I mean,
And 200 is his race.
in the last 4 years, the top 10 times running the 200, he had the top 8.
Did he really? Yeah, that's his race.
That was his race.
You said was his race, huh?
What do you think? Think next year he's gonna come back?
Maybe. Not the 2, maybe the 1. I think he's too short for the 2, but the 100. But that's football versus track. That's different speed. He said he wants to race Noah Lyles, but that's a different speed. So I don't know.
So you're picking Noah Lyles?
I think I'm picking with no pads on. I'm picking Noah Lyles. With pads on, I'm picking Cheetah. So that's how I go. What else should we talk? Anything else with track?
I think. Let me comment on that real quick. I think Cheetah is out of his mind. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about
Fastest
technically
in the world.
the world's fastest man. This, as of right now, if you take a snapshot, obviously he's not faster than the Brazilian Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
He is faster now.
Yeah, now Bolt's
now he
not
is.
running,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bolt is older now, and Cheetah coming out saying that he could beat him in the 100.
Cheetah
I'm
likes
sorry.
publicity,
So
definitely. So no chance.
I give it a 0 chance.
Okay.
An equal plane, pads, no pads, uphill, downhill, grass,
In the sand.
barefoot, no chance.
Okay. I'm sorry. It was probably like the 800. Was it the 800 or no? I didn't see that one.
No.
And one every was it distance? It had to be distance. What else do you want to talk about? Anything else with the Olympics? I thought it was entertaining. Snoop Dogg made a lot of money.
Next Olympics, it's going to be in LA. So is that Snoop Dogg getting his feet wet to then take
Host
completely
LA?
over once it comes to LA?
Yeah, I think he did good. They showed him on the bus with the Olympic basketball team. That was pretty entertaining. Women's 4x4. Yeah, we did good. Gold medal. That was phenomenal. Yeah, that was said again. Yeah, it was good. It was good. They did really good. Yeah, we got gold in 4x4 men's and women's. I believe, right? Yeah, we did. Anything else? Olympics? Do we have any questions?
You guys don't have any comments
Any questions,
before
comments
we move on to the next category?
with the Olympics? I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good. Other than when the games were on at like 11:30 in the morning and we're all at work, but
Yeah.
I still caught the highlights.
Right.
Preseason football.
All right. Preseason. What do
Preseason.
you see so far?
I think the rookie quarterbacks look good. The kid Daniels in Washington, Nix in Denver's probably going to get that job. Unfortunately, McCarthy's got to have surgery. He may be out for part or most of the season, and he looked good. JJ McCarthy from Michigan, he looked really good. I think Daniels is going to be the steal of the draft. He went second, so I don't know if you can really call that a steal, but I mean, he looked good. Caleb Williams looked really good too. So I think he's going to be. And then Chicago has more weapons. I don't think they had enough weapons for Justin Fields. They've got 3 really good receivers in the rookie, and then they've got DJ Moore, and they got Keenan Allen from the Chargers. Justin Fields didn't have that kind of talent. So I think the Bears are going to be markedly better. Bo Nix, I think, is going to get the Denver job. I think Minnesota was just going to start Sam Darnold for a while and give it to McCarthy because he's more explosive, more athletic, and Daniels already has that spot sewn up. So I think the rookies are coming in ready to play. Why is that the quarterbacks are coming in ready to play now? What do you think?
It's a good question.
In France.
I mean, you would. I mean, it seems like the game is catered every year more and more for quarterbacks, right?
It is. You can't touch them.
At the same time, you see college. Their style is getting similar
To pros.
to pros, which makes it an easier
Easy
transition.
transition. Yeah.
I mean, it could be that.
I think another reason is all the top high school quarterbacks have a QB coach. When we were coming up, nobody had a QB coach. You had your head coach, and you might have an offensive coordinator, but nobody had a QB coach. And now all those kids go to the Elite 11. They play 7-on-7, which is catered towards throwing a ball. And so I think the kids are coming in. By the time they're 22, they've had really good coaching, which is different than basketball, which is crazy that high school coaching in football and 7-on-7 is a lot better than basketball.
That's interesting, right? I mean, if you look at it financially, there's more money to be made playing basketball.
Individually, yes, absolutely.
Individually.
But the schools make so much more in football. But you're right, basketball, you make more money. And the contracts, if you're a good player, are guaranteed.
and you get just like a little bit like football too,
Uh-huh.
right? In basketball, what you see more is you see a lot of specialists,
Mhm.
right? You got guys that all you have to do really is learn how to shoot the three.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna get a spot,
And you're gonna make money
even
just
if
by
you
shooting a three.
even if you can't dunk.
Mhm.
If you can't cross anybody over,
But you can shoot the
but you
three.
can shoot the three, you're gonna get a spot. Same goes if you can play defense,
Mhm. Shoot.
right?
If you and now they want the 1, 2, 3, and 4 to all shoot the three. The point, the two guard, small forward, and the stretch four. And the traditional center is going onto going by the wayside. How many teams have a traditional back to the basket center? Because even Embiid can shoot the jumper, Joker can shoot the three.
Right. I mean, they also have a post game, but
They definitely do.
yeah.
But how many traditional centers are there left?
So traditional center, let's describe that. We're looking at somebody that's about 7 feet tall,
Back to the basket only,
does not shoot the three,
does not shoot more than a 17-footer.
and has a nose for rebounds.
Uh-huh.
It's not a whole lot of guys out there.
Where is it?
Zubac from the Clippers.
Yeah, it's a good point.
All
Who
right.
else? Yeah.
Shout out to all 2 Clipper fans in here. All right.
Speaking of Clippers, are they better this year or worse? Because no PG and no West.
No Westbrook, no
Goes a spark
PG.
plug off the bench.
Who knows? Who knows, man? Basketball is interesting.
I think Harden's on a decline. Kawhi's gonna miss 20 games.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of Clipper basketball,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, when you just look at the roster, they still have a very talented roster.
They do.
I think they're still top 20 as far as talent goes.
Oh, easy.
Chemistry, I think they're top 10,
And coaching, they're probably top 5.
top 5. You put that all together. I mean, we're looking at a team that could be anywhere between the 3
and the 6.
and the 6.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
That's with no injuries.
I agree.
In the real world, though, once those injuries start kicking in with Kawhi,
Yep.
Potentially James Harden, we're looking around maybe
5, 6,
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah, 3 to 6 if they stay healthy.
maybe in the play-in.
Ooh,
Well-
you think that bad?
Who's out though? Because
You got Minnesota.
Memphis is back. Ja's coming back,
Jazz coming back.
so
They
Memphis is not going to be outside the top 10.
yeah, they'll be in.
So who's out?
Lakers.
I don't think.
I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll be 8. I would say Minnesota, Dallas,
Minnesota and Dallas are
Denver.
solidified. Denver, that's 3,
Memphis,
4.
Clippers. 5. We said 3 to 6.
Five-ish?
5.
Oh, let me pull this
Yeah,
up
pull
real
it up.
quick.
Let's look. From the West, I go. Oh, OKC, Denver, Minnesota, Dallas, Phoenix.
Yeah, OKC is probably number 1.
Number
now,
1.
with Caruso.
And so yeah, they got Caruso for Sam.
All right, let me put this up on the big screen so everybody can see what we're talking about. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, so I mean the top 3, you got to keep them there. We're talking about OKC, Denver, Minnesota. I think Dallas moves into 4.
Yep.
I think Memphis is 6.
Well, what about who's 5? Who would you put 5?
I mean,
Dallas is 4. Memphis
maybe
5.
Phoenix or Memphis actually.
Okay, 5, 6.
That's 5, 6 with and then you got
Clippers.
Sacramento Kings, right?
Oh, and the Pelicans.
The Kings got better. They just got
They got DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan.
And the Pelicans got better. They got DeJounte Murray. So
So
there's OKC, Denver, Minnesota, Dallas, Phoenix, Memphis,
okay, so who's out?
New Orleans, Sacramento.
So the question is,
Are
from
the
1 to
Clippers-
10,
Uh-huh.
we're all looking at the top 10 right now on the screen. You know that Memphis
Ooh, Golden
is coming.
State.
Is it Golden State? Is it the Clippers? Is it the Lakers? Who's out? Because I think Memphis is going to be at least a top 6.
You think so?
With Ja back, absolutely.
I think Golden State is deeper than the Lakers. We're bigger, but I think they're more well coached. They're more well coached. Coaching means something still.
Than the Lakers?
Absolutely.
What's deeper right now? Because they haven't really made any significant moves. They actually lost Klay Thompson,
but they replaced it with Buddy Hield, and they have that young talent, Kuminga, Matt Moody.
They have those guys.
Yeah.
They still won 46 games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think Buddy Hield it's an improvement from Klay Thompson?
Klay wasn't starting sometime last year. I would say it's probably a wash. He's younger. So if we're looking at who's out of the top 10, are all the top 10 from last year? No, because Memphis is going to be in. So that means either the Lakers, Clippers, or Golden State's out.
Memphis is going to sneak in. In Houston, it wasn't too far behind.
Yeah, and they're well coached. They're well coached. And they just got the Shepherd kid from Kentucky.
So I guess, guys, we're going to have to strap up and enjoy another NBA season.
Somebody's out. Memphis is in for sure.
You know what? My gut feeling tells me the Clippers are out only because, you lose Paul George, probably the best player.
And if Kawhi and Harden are hurt.
So, yeah. And then Kawhi is always hurt. So you're going to ask James Harden to carry a team in the West. And you're saying that a James Harden-led team is going to do better than Dallas, Phoenix,
not at all,
Lakers, Sacramento, Golden State? I don't think so.
So you think the Clippers could be out?
I think the Clippers can be out.
In that new arena, that's phenomenal.
That's where my money's at. Now, we're talking about as of right now. We're taking a snapshot right now. Tomorrow they can pull a trade and change the whole game. You never know.
We'll see.
Houston,
it's going to be tough. Houston's coming.
Houston is going big game hunting. They're trying to get Kevin Durant. They're trying to get big players.
Are they trying to get Durant?
They're trying to get Durant.
If they get Durant, that means Phoenix is blowing it all up, which I don't think that works with Durant, Booker, and Bradley Beal. That didn't make sense from the start. Well, they had Booker running a 1, and he's not a 1.
Houston has draft picks, talent,
coaching,
and money,
and
coaching.
Yeah, Fertitta. Yeah.
And zero tax.
Zero state tax.
Zero state tax.
You think Durant will go? I think he'd go there with all that young talent. I think he'd like to play for Udoka.
I don't know.
Houston, yeah, I could see that. Durant, Booker, and Beal don't work. That doesn't make sense.
We'll see what happens to the other teams, right? When you look at the East, right, a lot of the rebuilding teams like Washington, they have a couple pieces that people could use, like Kuzma, right? Like also Charlotte Hornets, they have a couple pieces.
Ball, Bridges.
Right. Toronto has a couple pieces as well.
Yeah, I think,
Who knows? If these guys get in the trade market, they could actually improve any of the other, top 10 teams in either conference.
Let's look at the East.
Too early to tell.
So the East, Boston, New York, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Orlando, Indiana. I see that staying like it is. Well, no. Philly's definitely in the top 10. Miami, Chicago's going to take a step back. They got rid of Caruso. They got rid of DeRozan, and they're trying to get rid of Zach LaVine. So they're definitely out of the playoffs.
Right. I think
they're out of the playoffs.
I think the top 10 is going to stay the same.
Not in the East.
In the
Chicago's
East?
Not going to be in the top 10. Absolutely not. They
Yeah,
lost Caruso.
Chicago.
They're out, and they're trying to trade LaVine. They're rebuilding. And Lonzo Ball's still not 100%. So I think they're definitely out.
So who do you think is going to take that spot? Nets or Toronto?
Ooh, it's the Nets. Just traded Bridges. They're not. I would say Toronto. Charlotte, I don't think has enough because they got rid of their 2 guards, sent them to Miami. I would say Toronto takes Chicago's spot, and everything else stays. The top 10 stays the same. Because Atlanta, even though they got rid of Murray, they might still sneak in. Because Detroit, Washington, Charlotte, and Brooklyn are not getting in. There's no way.
Who's your money on to represent the East?
Boston.
Boston?
Again. With New York coming, though. New York is deep.
I think
2 or 3 deep and all at the 2, 3, 4.
I think we have to cut Milwaukee a little bit of slack. They were heavily injured. Especially if they change their coach. I think they're looking into replacing Doc Rivers.
Already? You think so?
I think so. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen with enough time. And I mean, Damian Lillard,
But does he fit with Giannis? I don't know if that's a fit. I mean, they're both great players, and they still have Middleton.
Still got Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of role players.
Yeah, they're in the top. I mean, look, they're in the top four: Boston, New York, Milwaukee, and probably Indiana, who's very well coached.
Right.
So
I think that
Carlisle.
I think it's going to be between Milwaukee and Boston.
Okay, Knicks not yet. Maybe another year.
I think Milwaukee's going to take the Knicks in a Game 7 in the semis.
Ooh, the Knicks are deep though. You got Brunson. You got the three other kids from Villanova.
Let's look at the matchups.
Okay.
Talk about matchups.
Okay. Julius Randle on Giannis.
Right.
Brunson on Lillard. Both of them will give you 25.
Right.
I think New York is deeper
far,
on the wings.
So far, if we have a 2-on-2 game, I'm giving that up to Milwaukee. I think Lillard, believe it or not, is better than Brunson.
He is.
Now.
Brunson might be a better leader, but Lillard's still a little bit of a better scorer.
Giannis is obviously better than anybody on the Knicks.
Okay, but look at the wings. They got
Middleton.
the three Bridges, Hart, DiVincenzo. They still have they got the kid they got from Toronto. They're too deep on the wings. I think New York's gonna beat Milwaukee. One, they're deeper. Two, they're more well coached. Deeper and a better coach. That's my thing.
You know what? But when it comes to the playoffs, right? They still got Gary Trent Jr.
Mm-hmm.
They got Giannis, obviously.
Chris Middleton.
We're looking at the roster right now. Yeah. Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
Bobby Portis.
Great role player.
Devon Wright. I mean, they have really good players here.
They do. But can Doc get you over the hump? And if they're going to fire, you just said they might fire Doc. So if you fire your head coach, I don't think you get to the Eastern Conference Final.
I think that's their Achilles heel is going to be the coaching.
Yeah, I think Tibbs is a little bit better coach. And he was Doc's assistant in Boston.
Right.
He's a good defensive coach. If he doesn't practice them too hard and they get injured, like he's known to do, I think they'll be okay.
All right, guys. So you heard it here first.
New York and Boston.
Clippers are out of the playoff next year.
New York and Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. Clippers are out. Boston, New York are the Eastern Conference Finals. Western Conference, I think OKC learns from what happened this year. Who's in the Western Conference Finals? Oklahoma City and Denver took a step back. Maybe OKC and Minnesota.
You know what? If we take a snapshot right now, I think it's going to be a copy and paste. I see Minnesota and Dallas.
Again. Could be.
What do you think? You think OKC has enough to beat Minnesota?
I think adding Caruso was huge. They have one of the best GMs in the league. Presti, who learned under Popovich.
I'm talking about right now. I'm sure they can make more moves.
Well,
GMs don't play ball.
Well, the Western Conference Finals are not going to be until May, so I think by May they're going to be ready. So they're playing today, maybe.
Well, do you feel what team out there in the West is one trade away from becoming top 2 favorite?
Dallas, Minnesota, Denver, Oklahoma City, and the Lakers. It's about 5 of them.
Okay.
Phoenix is 2 players away.
Let's look at Zach LaVine, right?
The Lakers need
Zach LaVine. If we were to plug in Zach
with the Lakers
in Dallas, let's go with Dallas first.
Oh, that's not even fair.
That's not fair.
It's not fair. Him, Kyrie, and Luka, that's not even fair.
What if you plug him in with the Lakers?
We're top 4.
Top 4. So you think he has a higher impact with Dallas?
I think he has a higher impact with the Lakers because the Lakers could sneak in the top 2. Dallas could be in the top 2 without him. I think he has a higher impact with the Lakers. If he goes to Dallas, like I said, it's unfair. Those 3 in Dallas, it's not fair. I don't know if they can afford him, but I think if he goes to the Lakers are top 4.
Dallas already exhausted their salary cap.
Yeah. If he goes to the Lakers are top 4. That's what we need: athletic 2 guard and one more big.
And a big.
And we're in the Western Conference Finals.
For the Lakers.
Say it again.
Was that?
Money for the Lakers.
That no money. We have the wrong people running the organization, and Pelinka's inexperienced. And I think a lot of GMs don't like him from when he was an agent. So we're not getting. They don't want to deal with him.
Right.
Yeah. Pelinka out of Michigan.
Zach come to the Clippers?
Zach actually might end up with the Clippers.
I think that'd be good.
How do you feel? How do you feel about that?
Just want to maintain top 6.
So I take it you're a Clipper fan. Sorry to hear that.
It's all right. Don't be sorry.
You hear what Paul George said? He said he felt like he was on a B team. He said he felt like he was playing JV.
Why did he say it?
Probably several reasons.
He said that was the way the fans react.
That, the way the organization,
Quality is back up.
that as well.
That's all. That's what he said.
And there's multiple reasons. The way they treated him in contract negotiations, what they offered him,
I think that's where it went bad.
Yeah.
They didn't want to keep him.
they should have.
They won. So then we could be an all ready again.
You're
You
in
know
the
what?
playoffs this year. You're gonna be out of the playoffs next year. I would have stayed in the
Right. I
playoffs.
Better off being
I think the Clippers dropped the ball. They should have just traded him
Should have
because
traded him.
if the status quo is not working, you gotta move on.
Mhm.
You gotta
But
move
get
on. Try
something
something
for him.
different.
The trade would have got something for him.
Why didn't they trade him?
They was getting a chance. Like he started moving.
So Clippers, if they got Levine, it would help them definitely. They needed to.
Right.
They could use a good 2 guard.
All right. So, all right, guys, we're gonna transition out of sports.
Sports, yep.
Unless you guys have any questions out there.
No basketball questions before we leave. No, good.
We're gonna get into the baseball.
Baseball. Dodgers playing well. 70 wins as of earlier today. They 70 wins as of earlier today was the tied for the most wins. Baltimore and New York have 70. Cleveland now has 71. So that changed from 12 wins today. Dodgers are playing with Pittsburgh right now, so we might have 71.
Here's overall standing here.
Milwaukee,
So you got Cleveland as number 1,
71.
followed by the Dodgers.
Baltimore,
It's tight.
Yankees. Everybody was talking about Philly. They're at 69 wins.
That's right. Well, the Dodgers have the top 3 differentials.
You see, Mookie didn't stay in a hotel last night, but he hit a home run 2 nights ago. But he hit a home run.
That's a good way to come back, right?
Yep, good way. He missed a lot of games with that hand, but he came back and played well.
Strong.
Well, maybe this year we'll get a dream. What's your dream
Matchup.
World Series?
Yankees, Dodgers.
Yankees, Dodgers.
Easy.
Cleveland, anybody.
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Do
Anybody.
they still have a team?
Well, Cleveland is number 1.
No, I know. They have 71 wins.
That's the league today.
Yeah.
We'll see tomorrow. They won today too, by the way.
You from Cleveland?
Yeah.
Okay. That explains it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 71 wins. So Dodgers are on now. What's the score?
Let me pull up the score right now.
Okay. Yeah, Mookie came in and played well.
Played great.
Otani's playing great. I think he had 36 home runs as of earlier
Well,
today. What's the score?
Dodgers
We're
are
up
up
7-1.
Yep.
Can Otani get 50 and 50? Maybe the home runs, the stolen bases.
Can't deny it.
First ever 50-50.
Could be. She's a bad piece.
Who are the 40-40s? Do you remember?
No.
Bonds, A-Rod,
Otani.
Bonds, A-Rod, and Canseco.
Well, we have 4 home runs this game so far.
We had 2 last night. We have 4 so far already.
So far, Otani hit 1.
Another one.
Lux, Smith, Pages.
Mookie's back. Dodgers got their back.
Yep,
Mookie so far is 2 out of 3, 2 hits.
it's pretty good.
It's not bad.
I think the Dodgers are going to be good. I think we're going to be okay. Coming out of National League, I just see us and the Phillies. I mean, the Brewers are decent. Arizona's decent. I think we're deeper. I think it's the Phillies and the Dodgers. Who's coming out of the American League?
I agree.
American League.
Hopefully
I know
the
you're going to
Yankees.
say Cleveland.
Hopefully the Yankees.
I would like to see the Dodgers and the Yankees. That would be a
Oh, like
great
the
World
Dodgers
Series.
thing.
Yeah. Everybody wants to see the big market team.
All right, Rob. I got a question for you.
Okay.
How many World Series the Dodgers have?
A lot. That's a good question. You can look that one up. I'm not big on baseball. How many? Can you look that up for
I'll
me?
look it up right now.
No, the Yankees have by far the most. Why is doing that? Shout out to my Dallas Cowboys. Worth $10 billion.
So we got 7.
We got 7. Is that it?
7.
How
Yep.
many Yankees have? 27. Oh, it's close. It's close. It's close. That's close. 27 and 7. That's close.
Right. I mean, they haven't won since 09. We're looking
Yeah.
about 15 years.
Yeah, that was that team. Yeah, A-Rod, Jeter. Who's the first baseman they got from the Angels? Teixeira. That was that team. And then before that, it was 2000. Because Jeter got the 96, 98, 99, 2000. Should have got the 01. And then they got the 09.
Right on?
27. Wow. It's close. Dodgers are, right there. So, how many World Series titles for Cleveland?
Look it up.
Let me look that up.
Maybe one or two.
Nothing Nebraska.
2.
Two.
1920 and 1948.
There you go. So just a few years ago.
Yep.
Just a few. We were all playing and watching baseball then, 20 and 48. He's from Nebraska. Is he a Cornhusker fan? Somewhat? Okay. I went to Oklahoma.
But you can't count on the Cornhuskers.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. They're
Yeah.
not.
Since Osborne left, yeah, you can't.
Since I left the school, it's been going downhill.
Oh, since you left, not when I was. Okay. My fault. Yeah, I went to Oklahoma. Those were some great Big 8 rivalries. OU, Osborne, Switzer, Jamel, Steve Taylor,
It's all about the big
all
kids.
those, Turner Gill, Mike Rozier,
Yeah.
Irving Fryer, Lawrence Phillips, rest in peace.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was a great running back, great high school running back, right out of this area, San Gabriel Valley, Baldwin Park High School. Yeah, went to class of '93, went to Nebraska.
Rob.
Yeah, man, we're not new to this, we true to this. Yeah, Lawrence Phillips was great. He was great. Yeah. Had a couple decent years in the league, and then, the rest is history. But he was a great player. And they got back-to-back. Tommy Frazier.
Yes.
Scott Frost was good there. Yeah.
Right.
Not as good as a coach, but he was a good player. We have any questions, Ro?
I'm waiting to see if Instagram has any questions.
Okay.
Well, while we
think-
wait, you want to move on to the next topic?
Let me just see. Let me check my phone.
Okay.
Because the star of the show was supposed to text me. Let me see
Right.
what he did. Let me just look.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a question from Randy. If he's looking, hopefully he'll ask me a question because I know it's gonna be.
I heard Randy is out there in Florida trying to get MJ to be our guest next year. Next
That'd
week.
be great. That'd be great.
Coming out on Tuesdays now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Nebraska, OU football. Who's gonna win it this year in college? You think so? Not Georgia? Texas is good. Oregon's good. Alabama's gonna be pretty good. Michigan's gonna be pretty good. Georgia's deep, and they're well coached. Kirby Smart, probably the best coach in college right now.
What about the dissemination
Of the pack, big money, and money's with the SEC and the Big Ten. Money talks. SEC puts a lot of money into their programs. The fans pack every stadium. You go to Arizona State Washington State game, it's not going to be crowded. You go to Ole Miss LSU, it's packed. Alabama is packed. Georgia, Mississippi State, Starksville is packed. Nothing else to do there.
Follow the money.
Yep. It's always about the money.
Everybody did.
Yeah, we're going to be down to two conferences, the Big Ten and the SEC. The ACC is losing everybody.
What do you think about?
About who?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So I'm getting ready to change to the pros. A lot of the pro teams are thinking about relocating or expanding to Las Vegas.
Well, I don't know if Vegas is going. I don't think they're going to take another team. I don't know if they can handle two teams. I don't know
I think
because they're Raider heavy. I don't know if they let another team in there.
Yeah, they rated that.
Yeah, so I don't know if they want another team. No questions, huh? Not yet.
No questions yet.
Not yet, but we'll get some. So who's coming out of the AFC? Is it Kansas City again?
Looks that way.
The Jets have some dissension. Guys want to leave. Rodgers is missing practice. Miami's going to be good. They're well coached. They re-signed their key skill position players, Tua and Jalen Waddle. The Jets are going to be pretty good. Cincy's going to be okay. Baltimore. The AFC's deep. Jacksonville's going to be good. Houston's going to be good with CJ out of Rancho Cucamonga. Shout out to Rancho Cucamonga High School.
And OSU.
Yeah, of course, the Ohio guy would say that. Kansas City's going to be good. The Raiders are going to play hard. Houston, I think it's KC and Baltimore. I think the top four are KC, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Miami.
What about
Or
the
the
Bills? I put the Bills up there.
The Bills have a whole new wide receiver room. I don't know that they're going to be. They lost. Diggs was big for them. I don't know if they're explosive enough. I think they might have missed their window. I think their window was the last 3 years.
So who do you have again?
Top four, I have Miami, Cincinnati, Baltimore, and KC.
It's hard to disagree with that.
Yeah. Miami's well coached, skilled players. They play hard. For that coach, he was on ESPN today. I think Cincinnati and Baltimore are going to fight it out in the AFC North. And I think KC.
What about the NFC?
NFC,
Do the Niners have another one else? I think so.
oh, yeah. Niners, definitely. Detroit. Nobody from the NFC South. I would say Niners,
Detroit.
out of the NFC
Eagles.
Eagles. I think Jalen's going to play better this year.
Maybe the Cowboys.
It would be nice, but
Green Bay.
those are the top five. You know, I love my Cowboys, but I wouldn't bet the house on them.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that.
I would say Eagles
What can go wrong?
will go wrong. I would say Eagles, Green Bay, Detroit, and San Francisco. That's hard to argue with.
Who do you have as the favorite to go to the Super Bowl?
I go San Francisco's got a trick. The receiver, Ayuk, wants out, but they're still well coached. They're still deep. The defense is solid. I would say San Francisco because Detroit's gonna be a problem.
I think Detroit.
I me too. Detroit might get them this year. I say Detroit.
You know what? The law of average is going to kick
Yeah.
in. It's their time.
It's
Man.
their time. I say
Third
Detroit
time.
versus KC. If it's Detroit versus Cincinnati, 10 people are gonna watch the Super Bowl. I think it's Detroit versus.
Well, already only 5 people are going to watch Super Bowl because of Miley Cyrus performing in the halftime show.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Can we just watch the game, turn it off at the half? I would say I say Detroit, KC. Henry.
Henry. I think
Yeah,
Yeah,
Baltimore.
Baltimore, man.
Baltimore. It might be law of averages. It might be Baltimore and
Detroit.
Detroit. So 12 people will watch. Yeah. Baltimore, Detroit. Yeah.
Who's a dark horse on the AFC?
And the AFC,
What about the Chargers? I see them
I
as a
say
dark horse.
nah, they're
No,
nah, not this year.
that's right.
And they lost Keenan Allen. I would say maybe since it's Cincinnati or the Jets.
You think so?
The Jets?
Not really, but it sounded good when I said it.
I mean, I'm just.
Not really. I don't think their coach is
Would
ready.
you- Well, let's go over the Chargers.
Okay, I'm
All
ready.
right. Quarterback. Top 5.
Is Herbert top 5? So you've
AFC
got
for sure.
Joe Burrow, of course. You've
He's
got
better.
Mahomes.
Mahomes number 1 in the league.
Is Herbert still better than Tua?
Yes.
Okay, I like Herbert.
Herbert's hurt.
My buddy Fred Red's gonna be mad at me if I don't say he's top 5. So I'm going to say he's top 5. So Herbert
Yeah,
He's top 5.
he's top
I mean, they,
AFC,
It's-
he's top 5.
is CJ top 5. So I go Pat Mahomes, Burrow.
I put Herbert over Burrow.
Do you? Nah, I don't do that.
I mean,
Nah,
You're gonna
Burrow
you're gonna punish a
already
guy.
been to the Super Bowl.
yeah, but it's not the same team. Numbers wise, Herbert's better. Numbers. Top 3 since he came in the league. Numbers.
Okay.
Just bad team.
Burrow's got to stay.
Bad
They both
defense.
have to stay healthy.
Actually, bad defense.
So I would say, is Aaron Rodgers not top 5 in the AFC?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You think it's past his?
I think he's
Okay,
a little
okay.
pass.
Well, he didn't play last year other than one game, so we'll see.
And he's a year older now.
Yeah.
And when you stay away from the game, it feels like you gain 2 years, right? You get 2 years older because you lose a little bit of that timing.
Yeah, Herbert's top 5 because you got to go Mahomes. You have to go Burrow and Herbert. Oh, number 2 is the kid in Baltimore. I'm sorry, I forgot about him. Yeah, Jackson's
Yeah,
number
Jackson
2.
is 2.
Yeah, so Mahomes, Jackson, Burrow,
Allen. I would go Herbert, Allen,
and then Burrow.
and then Burrow.
Okay, that's good. I can go with that.
I mean, and they're just inches away from each other,
Burrow, Allen, and Herbert are all right there together.
except for Mahomes.
Mahomes 1, Jackson 2, and then the other 3. Brock Purdy. Well, we were talking AFC, but NFC, top 5 NFC. In no particular order, Jalen and Dak from the NFC East is absolutely. And the NFC, absolutely. Yeah, okay, there you go. And then who else? In the NFC North is the kid in Detroit that we used to have. Is he?
Well, hold on. Before we move on to top
Okay.
5 in the NFC,
Okay,
I brought up quarterbacks to say the Chargers have a top 5 quarterback.
they do.
They also have a top 5 coach,
Harbaugh,
Harbaugh,
proven.
right? If you can get those guys to play just a little bit of defense,
Where are they? AFC Championship? Playoffs. I don't know if they're better than
playoffs.
They're not better than Baltimore, and they're not better than Kansas City.
Who's a better dark horse?
Not the Raiders. It's hard for Antonio Pierce. Jacksonville's solid, and Houston was in the playoffs. CJ's coming, so but you're right. San Diego's gonna be top 4 probably. They'll come out of the AFC West.
I mean, they had 12 losses last year. And it feels that all 12 they
We're
lost by a
close.
field goal.
Or the coach went for it on 4th down.
Right.
So
Have a good one, Clint. All right.
yeah,
Let's
it's gonna be
move on.
interesting.
Let's move on.
Sometimes
Okay, so we got some questions, I think.
Okay, we have a couple questions. Okay,
Right,
I'm,
we got
I'm
some
ready.
people.
I'm listening.
Okay, Robert, tell the truth.
Uh-oh.
So this is by King Caesar 83. His comment is, bro,
I see
bro,
that.
tell the truth. We could put together a team with me Havana members and we could beat the Jets. That's pretty cool.
Maybe so. Yeah. That coach, if he doesn't win, he's out of there. He's out of there. Robert Saleh, he's out of there if he doesn't win this year. It's a wrap.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, the Jets are improving. They've got a good running back. They got Rodgers. They've got the receiver from Ohio State. They've got Sauce Gardner. You've got the DN on one side of there. If they don't win this year, it's a wrap. We won't have to play them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's not a lot of fans, a lot of Charger fans out there. Seems like there's a lot of Raider fans.
Still, I love it.
You're right. I don't know much about football.
Yeah, someone said the Raiders trashed the Chargers last year. That was last year.
That's true.
They did. Yeah. They did.
The Chargers still have a better quarterback and coach.
Yeah.
But
Raiders play
that's
hard.
not enough, I guess.
Raiders play hard for Antonio, though, so we'll see. That's why we got to line them up.
Thank you, Beast Mode, for commenting, and King Caesar 83. Appreciate that. Making our stream a lot more fun.
Yep. It's good. Everybody has an opinion. That's good. That's what we like.
All right, so what's our next topic? I think we're done with sports.
We're done with sports. So we wanted to talk about your passion for cigars and how you got started. How did, Mi Havana, before Mi Havana, how did you get started with cigars?
Wow. I mean, I was kind of just born into it. I come from a 3-generation of, family members being involved in the tobacco industry,
Okay.
At various levels from, rollers to, administrative positions.
Okay.
So, we migrated here from Cuba.
Okay.
And first job my parents got here in the United States was actually, doing what they knew, which was rolling cigars.
Really? Where were they doing that? Here in
They were
Southern
actually
California?
rolling cigars, in California at the Bursuli Cigar Factory. They used to have a factory based off Temple City,
Okay.
right? Laura Souza,
The one we talked about.
the one we talked about.
Yeah, Laura Souza in Santa Anita, just west of Santa Anita,
Right, that was
right by Royal High School. I know it well.
that was her first gig. They started working there, rolling cigars.
Both parents.
Both of them. Yeah. My mom, she's a roller, which is when you make a cigar, you do it in team.
Okay.
Team of 2.
Okay.
You have the guy that does the filler, which is the inside of the cigar. We call that bonchero in the industry.
Okay.
Bonchero comes from, making a bunch from the leaves. You make a bunch and then you roll it and you put it in the mold.
Okay.
And the rolero or / rolera, it's the person that adds the wrapper, right? It's like putting makeup on
Yeah.
the cigar.
Okay.
And that's what my mom
That's
did.
what your mom did? So they were working in there full time. I mean, that was their job, 8 hours a day.
That was a job at the beginning.
How old were you? You at this time, you were.
12?
So you remember it.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
How old were you when you smoked your first cigar? Like the whole cigar, not like a puff.
First cigar. Man, I'm not going to sit here and lie that I remember, but
You were young.
I was young.
You had to be young if you don't remember. My first cigar was at age 27, so you were way younger than that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, at age 26, it's when I opened Mi Havana Cigars. So, yeah, I've been already smoking for a long time.
That's great.
I was the only kid in high school probably smoking cigars at the parties.
Smoking cigars.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great life.
While everybody's smoking weed or cigarettes,
You were
I
smoking
was smoking
cigars.
cigars.
Yep. You were smoking cigars. That's crazy.
I never took them to school.
You didn't. Only the parties.
Only the parties. Trying to be cool.
Okay. That's good. And so your parents were rolling cigars, making cigars at that cigar spot we talked about. And I remember it was a lounge. I didn't know they produced cigars at that level. But did they ship them around, or did they just make them for that shop?
Actually, they used to wholesale.
Did they?
They used to wholesale nationwide. It was actually very successful.
Okay.
I remember being there when there was talks going around that they have sold, you know, 1 million cigars in that year. I forgot what year it was.
Okay.
They actually had a deal that went through with I think it was Ralph.
Mhm.
They had cigars in Ralph's, I believe, all over the place.
Really?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It kind of helped them get
Is that shop
Get
still
no-
there? I remember that shop. I went in there and bought a couple cigars. I never smoked in there, but I bought a couple.
I think it's still there.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's still there. They don't make cigars anymore.
They don't. They just have
No.
like the lounge.
Right. And I can't tell you why.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
parents they stopped working there, before they stopped, rolling cigars. So who knows?
Okay.
Who knows what really
Okay.
happened?
So that's how you got started. Your parents were in the business. Obviously, they came from Cuba. They were exposed to it there. How old were you when you came over here from Cuba?
I was about 12.
Okay.
I brought up Ursuli cigars because they, to me, growing up, that's what I saw. I saw a little bit of the business. I used to go, after school. I used to go, there and wait for my parents to finish their shift.
Uh-huh.
And, I got to see a little bit of, how it works, behind the
The
scenes.
back office.
That's where I learned a lot of stuff, as far as, the preparation that goes into, conserving the tobacco leaves, the blending process, the different, packaging process. I was there for, I was going there after school, for a couple of years, that's was kind of my inspiration to make a business out of,
Out of cigars.
out of cigars.
That's good. So you talked about, we haven't talked about it today, but you and I have talked about it, how you had the factories over in Nicaragua, is that correct?
Yes.
So how are the laws different for employees over there? What is it like having employees in Nicaragua versus here in the United States?
Well, it's different. So we have a factory in Nicaragua. So it's there's three of us involved. My partners. You guys know you guys should know my partners, Alex and Roy. We've been in Nicaragua for several years now, and we learned a lot of stuff as far as the culture, I guess.
Mhm.
Employees obviously they definitely I think they have the upper hand.
In Nicaragua?
Yeah.
How so?
You know what? It's especially in the, or maybe only in the cigar industry, because employment is such a high demand, right? They quit in one factory and the next day they already have a job in another factory,
Okay.
and
So you can, if you're good, you can get a job.
yeah, you can easily get a job even if you're so.
So let me ask you this: in the factories, there, can you smoke while you're working?
In our factory, you can.
You can.
You can, yeah. Yeah, we let the boncheros, the guys that are making the filler,
Uh-huh.
we let them smoke the cigars. We let them smoke the cigars that they're making. It's a good way to kind of see how the tobacco is burning, how the blend is,
Okay.
the construction.
Sounds like my kind of job.
Yeah,
So they get to smoke while they're rolling. Okay. Okay.
there's not a whole lot of smoking going on, but yeah,
Some of the guys do.
right.
But what about just in Nicaragua? Is it way more cigar friendly than the United States?
I would say so. Yeah, I mean, can you go out and smoke in the restaurants? Absolutely. You can pretty much smoke a cigar anywhere you want to. Bars, restaurant. The only places you're probably not gonna be able to smoke cigar is maybe
Church.
walking into a bank.
Okay.
Um,
Gas
maybe some of the franchise like stores. Like they got their version of Home Depot over there. It's
Okay.
called Cinza.
Okay.
You probably won't be able to go in there with the cigar lit, but
Somebody had a comment. What about a gas station?
gas station. I've walked into a gas station with a cigar. They don't tell me anything. However, if you're sitting in the car, the way they pump gas over there is different. You don't pump your own gas; they do it for you.
Okay. So you can sit in the car and smoke.
So you can sit in the car and wait for them to just finish pumping the gas.
Okay. Okay. So very cigar friendly. In
Very cigar
Miami,
friendly.
in Miami, they have the guys Calle. They sit outside, play dominoes, they smoke in the park. Is it that type of atmosphere in Nicaragua or no?
Well, I can only speak for Esteli because That's really where I spend
Okay.
99% of the time, and the other 1% is just commuting from the airport to Esteli
Okay.
and back to the airport. No, you don't see a whole lot of that. In fact,
Okay.
the city is, I mean, it's crazy. From like 6 in the morning to about 6 in the afternoon, traffic up the yin yang. It takes forever to get, a mile down the road
Okay.
to your destination. There's just so much activity, so much commerce going on in Esteli.
Okay.
In different fields, not just tobacco. However, after 6:30, everything shuts down.
6:30.
Six
Not 8:30.
6:30, everything pretty much starts shutting down, and right maybe around 8 p.m. you don't see a car in the street.
Really? Why is that? It's just the culture.
I think it's just the culture. I think people, they're finished with their shift and they go home and they stay home.
Okay. Okay. They don't run the streets.
Yeah, the weekends is a different story.
Okay.
It's a different story in the weekends as far as the entertainment outlets out there, bars and whatnot. But that's something that's
That's interesting. My first cigar, I think we talked about that on the first podcast, was the Hoya de Nicaragua, the chubby. That's, I'm sure, of course, you know it, but that's a pretty strong cigar. That was my first cigar. And so that's what kind of got me hooked. I had that with Bacardi and Coke. Not really what you would drink with the cigar. Now, of course, I know better, but Bacardi and Coke, Hoya de Nicaragua, Red Label, the chubby.
right.
It's a good cigar. Smoked in my backyard. I like it.
You know what? As long as you like it, that's what matters.
There you go. There you go. So we talked about the factories. Let's talk about 3 Mi Havana cigars that you want to, any 3. You pick 3.
Ooh, okay. Well, I mean, we have a cigar that everybody seems to like. We call it Iron Mike.
Oh, that's a great one. I have one in my case.
Yeah,
great
it's a full body cigar. It's a classic size, 60x6.
So I was smoking
Maduro.
today.
Mm-hmm.
The Iron Mike.
Yeah, it's it's Mexican wrapper. Everything else is Nicaragua.
Okay.
It has tobacco from 3 regions of Nicaragua. We're talking about Esteli, Condega, and Jalapa.
Okay.
It's designed to be strong, but at the same time not too peppery. Something you could enjoy. And
Medium to full or full?
I would say, to me, medium to full. I think for the average smoker is a full body.
Right. So that's a good one. What's another one?
Another one that must have, I would say, the
Is there more of a medium one?
medium one. I like the R&R.
Okay.
R&R is a box split cigar. Has a Havana wrapper. What I like about that cigar is the profile, the blend in it. It contains tobacco from Paraguay, believe it or not. And when you smoke it, traditionally, which is just puffing, it tastes. There's nothing too crazy about it, but as soon as you retrohale that cigar, the Paraguay, it's gonna flourish in your receptors right here in your nose, and it's like a party. You get it really tastes like you're smoking 2 different cigars from
Really?
puffing and retrohaling. Retrohaling is the act of passing smoke through your nose. For those of you who don't know what that is, I really enjoy that cigar.
And what's the name of that one again?
R&R.
R&R. Okay.
And R&R actually stands for Royal Round. Most people don't know that.
What does it stand for?
Royal Round. It's actually supposed to be part 2 of this, I don't know, like kings and kingdoms
Okay.
theme. Because
Okay.
the first one was the 7 Kingdoms, 7K.
Oh, you told me about that.
And then the
Game of Thrones. You told me
yeah,
about
the
that.
Act 2 is supposed to be Royal Round.
So R&R. It doesn't stand for Randy and Robert or Raul and Randy.
No.
Okay, sorry.
No.
All right. So
Only on
Only on
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. There you go.
Only on Tuesdays.
All right. What's a good mild cigar you have?
A good mild cigar. I'm not a big fan of mild cigars, but I think to me, it's going to be the Nopes. The Nopes is usually on the 4th shelf, so a lot of people don't. I don't know if they just ignore it or it's just too low for them to reach down and get it. But the Nopes started as a troll, you could say. One time Roy walked into the lounge and he gave me like an Opus X, and we were just messing around. At that time, we were making cigars inside the factory, inside the lounge in Pomona, in our
around
own
the corner.
location. So me playing around, I said, you know what, it's not so special. I think that was one of the first time I smoked one of the Opus cigars, and to me, it really wasn't that nothing special at that time. And playing around, I told Roy, you know what, I probably could make the same cigar with what I have here. And of course, I didn't. But that's how the Nopus came around.
That's what it came about. Okay.
That's why it sounds like Opus, but
Yeah.
we put no in front of it.
Okay.
So because when I finished the cigar, everybody was like, no, that's not an Opus.
That's not a so. It's a
So we
Nopus.
called it Nopus.
Nopus. Wow, that's interesting. Not an Opus, a Nopus.
But great effort was put into that blend. In fact, it has a Mexican San Andres binder
Mhm.
and wrapper. So
Okay.
that's one of my favorite mild cigars. It's mild, but it's earthy, right? It's not. You don't get that. Sometimes with mild cigars, you use wrappers like Connecticut,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes you get a little bit of bitterness. You don't get a lot of powers, but you get a little bit of that bitterness because the tobacco is usually young for a Connecticut. With tanginess, you could say. But when you put a San Andres on San Andres, you're gonna get creaminess, sweetness, and a little bit of earthiness, and that's what you get out of an Opus. So
Out of an Opus.
if I'm gonna be stuck on an island and I need a mild, a medium, and a full body cigars from what we make, that's what I would pick:
Okay.
an Opus, an R&R, and an Iron Mike.
So the Nopus, so you don't really drink that much, very little.
Very little.
But the Nopus, I would pair with some wine. It's a mild cigar, so maybe a white wine, not a red wine, probably a white wine, a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, or maybe a Pinot Grigio or a Pinot Gris. And what was the medium one again? What was that one? Not the Iron Mike, but the other one.
R&R.
R&R. I would say that would be good with maybe a vodka soda,
Mm-hmm.
or a martini, and then Iron Mike, definitely some Basil Hayden, some red breast. We'd have to have Red here. He's the expert on dark liquor, him and Randy. So maybe a Basil Hayden, a red breast, a Oban, something like that. Because Iron Mike definitely goes good with
Right.
Bro, that's good. So we just paired 3 cigars with 3 alcohols. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah, and in the Nicaraguan cigar topic,
Uh-huh.
I just want to add that next year we're looking into doing members only tour of Esteli
Yes.
by Mi Havana.
I'm there.
So we're trying to plan a four-day trip.
We can see the factories.
Right.
We can smoke everywhere,
Correct.
even the gas station.
In the airport, there's a little lounge in the airport. You can actually have a nice steak and smoke at the same time
In there.
while you wait for your flight. If there's an airport you want to get there early and wait for your flight, it's going to be Esteli.
You want to be there 3.5 hours before your flight.
Absolutely. Get down 2.5 cigars, have a steak, and alcohol.
For
That's
those
not
of
too
us
bad.
that drink. How long is that flight?
The total flight time is about 6 hours. That's the
That's not
fastest
bad.
way.
That's not
I
bad.
think the best trip is going through Houston because you split that time exactly in half. You got about
3
3
and
hours.
3.
3 and 3. It's enough time to watch a movie and a half. Stretch your legs and then, another quick flight and you're in Esteli.
We have to do that trip. 6 hours. That's like going to Boston. I just
6
went to
hours.
DC. That's great. So 3 and 3.
Once we get there, it's only about a 2-hour drive to our final destination.
Oh, you didn't tell us it was a 2-hour drive too. So that's 8 hours.
No, the drive, it feels like you're already,
Okay.
in the middle of the tour
Long as
because,
we can smoke in the car. That's good.
you could definitely smoke in
What
the
do you
car.
think about doing that? We need to promote that. We need to.
Yeah, we're working on that. I want to time it right. Tobacco is not grown year round. In Nicaragua or Esteli.
Okay.
So I want to time it where when the team or the group gets there, they get to experience,
The true
The-
cigar.
all the activities that happen on the farming side.
Okay.
Because if we go in the off season, you know, the only thing we're going to be able to experience is, you know, the factories and the pre-industry, which is nice, but it's not the whole picture.
So let me ask you this: what part of the year do we want to go? Is it spring, summer, fall?
Our winter,
Is like Miami?
our
is
winter,
warm,
or around March.
so November to March.
Yeah,
Oh, that's coming up.
it's coming up.
Oh, that's great. We talked about that
It's
yesterday.
coming up.
So we
So
should do that. We
we'll
need to
do we'll do a test run.
Okay.
We'll do a test run with just a handful of guys.
Okay.
See how it goes.
Sounds great. I'm all in for that. Going to Nicaragua. So we talked about pairing with alcohol. We talked about 3 Mi Havana cigars. You have a Ray Lewis cigar. How did that come about? How did you start making the Ray Lewis cigar? That's an interesting story I just heard about yesterday. Can you tell them how you started making the Ray Lewis cigar?
Oh man! So
And tell the
there's
truth.
two stories. There's two
tell them
stories.
the real
There's a
story.
story when I met Ray Lewis, and then there's another story how we started making the Ray Lewis cigar.
Okay.
So let me tell you the story how I met Ray Lewis. So, you know, one of the things that we do here in Mi Havana is we provide this catering service, which we go out to, you know, to events. We get hired and we actually roll cigars on site. It's part of the, you know, entertainment, it's visual entertainment with, you know, with the guests there.
the
Especially-
ambiance.
The ambiance, especially if you don't like to dance, you know, you can easily just stand by the table and see how cigars are made and smoke a cigar. So, you know, we get hired a lot to do that. So, Common hired us for an event. It's called the Toast of the Arts in Hollywood.
Common?
Common,
Okay.
Yeah. And I think this was the third time he hired us. It's this yearly thing that they do, and I think third time is when Ray Lewis, you know, he was there among other, you know, athletes and, you know, celebrities and entertainers. And not a lot of guys partake in the cigar smoking, but, you know, Ray Lewis did. At that time, he had cigars that Rocky Patel was making. And he actually went up to our table where I was making cigars, and, you know, he takes a cigar out of his jacket and he wanted me to cut it and help him light it. And it was a Rocky Patel cigar.
Wait a minute. Let me ask. So you were rolling cigars,
I was rolling cigars.
and he pulled his own cigar out of his jacket and
Right.
wanted you to cut his cigar.
Right. He brought in some contraband. And
That's interesting.
I have already smoked that cigar before. It's not my style, I guess. I'm not a big fan of some of the tobacco that Rocky Patel uses because his cigars are usually dominant with tobacco from Honduras.
Uh-huh.
And to me, it just has like this metallic, you know, flavor that I get in the back of my throat that, you know, I can always pick out. You can give me a cigar with no label, and if you have like 10% of it is Honduran, I can pick it out.
You can figure it out.
That's just me.
Okay.
So I cut his cigar, I light his cigar, we do a little bit of small talk, and then before he walks away, I tell him, "Let me know when you're ready to smoke a real cigar."
You told that to Ray Lewis.
Yes.
Ray Lewis, the football player, Ray Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, I felt comfortable enough to, you know, give him a little jab, only because,
He handed you a cheap cigar.
in my opinion,
And what did he say when you said that?
you know, he just laughed. He's a good sport, but, you know, he's not really that much into cigars, so, you know, it was fun. It was just fun.
So what did he say anything? Did he ask you for a cigar, or what happened?
You know, after that, you know, he took a couple cigars, and, you know, to be honest, you know, he just went back to the party because we were set up like in a second level situation. I think they wanted to keep the smoking away from, you know, all the
Other
activities.
celebrities that didn't smoke.
Right. But as far as doing business with Ray Lewis,
How did that happen?
you know, it's all thanks to one of my partners, Alex. You know, Alex met him in Cuba. Alex used to run one of the LCDH in Havana, located in the Comodoro Hotel. He's been doing that for, you know, he did that for many years. And, you know, it's one of the, according to Cigar Aficionado, that was one of the top, you know, 10,
Yes.
10 places to visit when you go to Cuba,
Uh,
as far as, you know, getting the cigar experience.
yeah, the real experience. And so you met him there. What happened?
And he met him there, and I don't know the story too well. I'm gonna ask Alex. Maybe we'll get Alex here next week
Okay.
to talk about that in detail. But when Alex came here, already after we had already started our factory together, along with Roy, um, he texts Ray Lewis if he's ready to make a cigar, and that's it. The rest is history. We got together several times in Hollywood. One of his, some hotels. I forget which hotels. We sat down a few times. We went over, some of the designs and all the stuff that has to go with making a cigar from blends and he gave us all the creative powers as far as blending goes. He trusted us, and we did a cigar, and
So talk about the Ray Lewis cigar. Give us the specifics.
the Ray Lewis cigar. It's a cigar that it's a unique cigar because it has tobacco from Nicaragua and Dominican Republic.
And Dominican.
Yet the wrapper is from Ecuador, but it's a Havana H2000 wrapper.
So what does that mean?
It's a type of seed. It's a very oily, dark wrapper that brings in a little bit of sweetness with the blend, and it's a good cigar. It's one of our best cigars. We actually have a
It's
couple
good.
left here
It is good.
from the batch. So you
And
have
he's
a
happy
chance.
with it. That's
Try
good.
it. Yeah, I know. Ray Lewis is working on launching the cigar. I know he launched it in Vegas at the 8th. I heard that was a very successful event.
When he launched that cigar,
Yes.
did he?
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, and I think he's setting up all the distribution channels. So pretty soon you're gonna see Ray Lewis everywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good. And you guys are doing that. Excellent. So we talked about the trip to Nicaragua, smaller group, maybe a larger group later in the year. What are some of the upcoming events you have here? Let's talk about that because you have events all the time. You have Tuesday podcasts. You have the Wednesday members night, which is phenomenal. You have the members night on Friday. You have fights on Saturday. What's some of the events you have that you want to tell everybody about?
Okay, so short term, we have an event this Friday. It's our members night. I forget which one it is. We've been having one every month since we opened. And this time we have Plena Vista performing. Plena Vista is two very talented brothers that play saxophone and trumpet, I believe.
Okay.
These guys are very highly entertainment, highly skilled. They're going to be here on Friday playing from 8 to 11.
Okay.
Um,
Right here on this stage.
right here, right where we're at. If you guys want to come by, just stop by. It's this Friday. Come early. If you come after 8, it's only standing room usually.
Wow. What about? Let me ask you this: is there a fight this weekend?
I think we also have. Well, we show every pay-per-view.
Okay.
We show UFC. We show boxing. So I know this weekend we have UFC 305, I believe.
Okay. Is that Friday or Saturday?
That's going to be Saturday.
Okay, so you have something Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, I think Adesanya is fighting. He's back. I think that's the main event.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell them about? Any other events? What's coming up in 2-3 weeks, next month?
Well, we're actually excited for the next couple of weeks. I mean, especially when football starts.
Of course.
There's something to do every day of the week. I mean, Mondays, we got the Monday Night Football, which during the football season, we actually roll out our free hot dogs. So if you're hungry, come in, get a free hot dog, watch the game.
Okay, so that's Mondays. Thursdays. What about
Tuesdays. Tuesdays, we have this open mic podcast
of course.
featuring R&R.
Robert and Randy.
On Wednesdays, it's our weekly appreciation day for our members. If you're a gold or platinum member, come in. The first cigar is on us every Wednesday. So
Thursdays.
Thursdays, we're gonna have Thursday Night Football.
Fridays.
Friday is live music every Friday.
So that's Monday through Friday. We get 5 events.
Saturdays, and at this time of the year, there's either a boxing match going on or UFC. So Saturdays have turned into fight night. It's been like that the last 2.5 years.
College football too.
And college football, yeah.
College football. And then what about Sundays?
So Sundays, big Sunday. We got football all day.
Yeah.
We have NFL ticket on all the TV. So The way the TVs are positioned, if you sit on the second floor, right in the middle area, you're gonna be able to watch 4 games on the big screen, 1 game on the jumbotron, and another game on the wall.
Okay.
So the 2 nationally televised games are going to be on the jumbotron and the TV that's on the wall by the restroom. And and then we'll pick 4 games to put on, YouTube TV. You can do a
Okay,
4 screen
okay.
split. So if you time it right, you can watch 6 games at the same time.
The only challenge on Sundays is making sure Nate doesn't kick you out before the 5:30 game is over. That's a challenge. We're working on it. We're gonna. I'll talk to the owner.
Unless it's Green Bay playing.
Then he stays till 10 o'clock. Allegedly. But thank you. Okay, so we got 7 nights of entertainment. We've got Monday Night Football. We've got Tuesday podcast. We've got Wednesday Members Appreciation Night. We've got Thursday football. We've got Friday members.
Live
We've got
music.
live music. We've got Saturdays college football, fight night. And we've got Sundays watch football until Nate kicks you out. That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
We're gonna start promoting that.
It's a pretty good lineup. Week in, week out.
Really good, really good. Best cigar lounge anywhere, not just Southern California, but anywhere. And they have Mi Havana cigars, not house cigars. No house cigars here. They're Mi Havana cigars.
We have Havana cigars.
Yeah. Shout out to Mi Havana. So that's good. That's pretty good. I mean, we're an hour and 46 minutes in right now.
Let's see.
13 seconds.
Let's see if we got any questions.
Any questions?
Nothing new. I mean, someone's asking where can they get Ray Lewis cigars. We answered that already.
We answered that right here. Come get it tonight.
Trip to Nicaragua, we got that
We
covered.
talked about that.
That's it.
That's it? No, there's got to be more questions. Let me see.
Not from the internet.
That's it?
How we doing, Carlos?
That's good, man. We covered everything. Olympics, track and field, basketball, preseason football, rookie quarterbacks, baseball, go Dodgers, passion for cigars. You were smoking at 8. Was it 8, 7, or 8? You were smoking at 7 years old?
No. I probably smoked my
12.
first full cigar probably when I was 13, maybe.
Wow.
Maybe.
Factories, we talked about that. Mi Havana cigars, we paired them with alcohol. Ray Lewis, upcoming events. It's pretty good. We held it down. The star of the show, Randy Jaquette, is not here, but we're like the substitute teachers.
Right. I know he has.
They didn't throw any pencils at us.
Right. He mentioned we're gonna have a special guest next week.
Yeah, I know his buddy Bobby Bellamy is one of the best wrestling coaches. Is going to be up here with one of his kids.
He said also an MMA fighter. Maybe.
Okay, very good. We'll take that. So
for everybody out there, every Tuesday, this is an open mic podcast. We do have a scheduled show from 5:45 to about 7:30ish. Outside those hours, either before or after, anybody can come and jump up here and use our equipment and go live in our platform and discuss whatever topic you guys feel like discussing. As long as we stay away from politics and religion, it's all good.
We got to get Nate up here to talk Michigan football and Green Bay. Anything else? No more questions.
No more.
Where can I get a Ray Lewis? We talked about that. Okay. All right.
Okay, someone's asking when is Members Night. So Members Night is going to be this Friday the 16th. Music starts at 8. You can come as early as noon. The doors open at noon. I recommend coming in before 6 so you can get a nice seat.
Wow.
Or else you might be stuck in the 3rd floor where you won't really be able to enjoy the live music, just hear it.
Okay. And what do you call Wednesdays? So Fridays is Members Night. Wednesdays is like Members Appreciation.
Yeah, our weekly Members Appreciation.
Okay.
The first cigar is on us.
Okay, that's pretty good. Where else can you get that?
I don't know where else.
I don't think anywhere else. People are watching the podcast. That's pretty good.
Are you gonna be here Friday, Robin?
I'll be here. It's pretty good. It's lovely.
All
Anything
right.
else? Nate, you got anything? Cleveland, you got anything? Cleveland's on the phone. Nate?
non-related sports.
Uh-oh, here we go. Uh-oh.
Okay, what's your question, Nick?
Ex-president was able to drive on
That was able to do what?
drive his own car.
Probably Gerald Ford, Richard Nixon. You're much older than I am, so it has to be somebody from the 70s or 60s. Probably Gerald Ford. Who was it?
Johnson.
Johnson, Lyndon B. out of Texas. There you go.
He was driving to a Dallas game. Okay.
Of course, he was going to Cowboys game. America's team. Makes sense. Go Cowboys.
All right. Thank you for that, Nate.
Yeah. Thank you for that 1960 history lesson. I was -8. Raul was -28.
Yeah.
And Nate was already 35. Anything else? We good? That's good stuff, man. That's good. Good job,
All
man.
right, guys.
Hopefully we didn't embarrass Randy. Hopefully he'll want to come back. He told us to hold down the fort for him, so I think we did okay.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one.
Good
See
job.
you next week, same time.
You can go to post-production, take the makeup off.